I've had a question about question A, so I want to give you just a quick hint on that one. So first off, you might be tempted to try and solve this differential equation by separating the variables and integrating, and you definitely can. I don't want to discourage you from doing that if you try to solve it that way. But if you do, one thing you should know ahead of time is that on the right-hand side, for the x's, you're going to get, now you probably want to leave the 3 over here, but you're going to get 1 over cosine of pi x dx. And you're going to have to integrate that. And you totally can, if you remember that 1 over cosine is the same thing as secant. That's right. Now, have we talked about how to integrate secant itself? We've done secant squared, but that's not really going to help here. We've done secant of x times tangent of x. But what you can do is Google the integration formula for just secant of x and then do a little u substitution there. And you can totally do that. It will definitely work. But here's what I suggest you do instead. So we've got this. Because we're given the basic format that the equation should fit, we can just directly substitute into this equation and go from there. So if y is equal to mx plus b, what would dy dx be? It's the derivative of this, right? With respect to x, which is just m. So I can plug in m, and because I'm given this initial value, this initial point, I can actually calculate the slope, m, dy dx, at that point just by plugging in x and y. This is the same thing you do when you draw a slope field. So in other words, I'm calculating the slope at the point 3, negative 1. So I plug in 3 there, negative 1 there, 3 for x, negative 1 for y, and I can calculate the slope. Oh, hey, the slope is negative 3. Cool. Now, once I know m, I can go back to y equals mx plus b and substitute in my m and solve for b from there. So that is by far easier, the easier way to solve this. Although you can separate the variables and integrate if you really want to. Goodbye. I said goodbye.